Happy December, three and outers. Welcome to what for most is the final week of the fantasy football regular season. I know some people ended last week, some people actually go to week 15, but for the majority of smart fantasy football players, welcome to the final week of the regular season. You've survived injuries, or maybe you haven't. You've survived everything else that's happened, or maybe you haven't. But we're here to get you through one more week of fantasy football, an important week. And I am your host, Wayne Cavati. And as always, I'm joined by the best wingmen in fantasy football, Fanduel Fee, Fiamano, and Mike the Professor Dutton. Gentlemen, how we doing? Fee, I can't believe you're still wearing that hat with pride.
Yeah, pretty good. And yeah, I'm always going to be a Giants fan. That's not ever going to change. I mean, it's just because my team sucks, you know?
He's just not gonna have a quarterback more than 2 years if he continues to
Jesus,
play
I
like
don't know
this.
if we could
Easy,
keep him. We traded away
easy,
Baker because we were going to keep Jackson Dart, and now I don't know if we could keep him.
He's
easy.
a injury waiting to happen if he's
Ugh.
gonna he and look,
Listen, it's just his like what, sixth game? Come on.
And all six of them, he
Give him
runs
a
head
chance.
first into large defenders.
Give the kid a chance.
Oh, he's great athletically. It's mentally that we got to get to. Anyway, Dutton, how you doing over there?
I'm good. I Mike Evans is in the 21-day window has opened for Mike Evans, so that is exciting for me, the Bucks fan, and exciting for me and you who snatched him off the waiver wire when somebody dropped him.
We dropped him a long time ago because we had so many injuries, we had no more room. So we got lucky to get him back. Um,
I
yeah,
was going to
so
tell everybody that we dropped him. I was just gonna...
hey, we got Joe Burrow for free.
Yeah, we did.
Um, let's talk about so this week is a huge week. Not all, like in fantasy football, obviously. Dutton, what happened to you last week in fantasy football? I didn't see a score. What happened to you?
You beat me
Oh yeah.
because my entire team decided not to show up at the worst possible time.
Yeah. And with that win, after 4 weeks of having to start fifth stringers, I'm actually playing. My playoffs actually start this week in our league.
Mhm.
Our playoffs start in our league too, Dutton, because we're playing for the number one bye this week. We
Which
win.
is crazy to think on that team.
I know because we started this season with so many injuries.
We should name that team MASH because
And
we
Faye,
literally held
are
it
you
together.
locked into the number one seed in our league?
No. I play the A spots who are in second place, and
Oh,
but they need to beat me by more than 40 points to
Oh,
overtake me.
well, that's not impossible.
no,
It's
And
it's
not
not.
impossible. It's not
Fee,
impossible. That's why I said it's not impossible.
how many games have you won in a row? Tell the listeners at home.
Eight.
He's on an
I
eight
mean,
game winning streak.
you got a sick team. I mean,
It's
you do.
disgusting.
Like it's like I said, I scored 169 points and I lost by 10 to your team. Like, come on. uh, but we'll have a rematch in the championship game if I sneak in there this week. Anyway, the whole point of that is it's a huge week, but it's also a huge week in the NFL. We got the Colts and the playing the Jaguars for basically first place in the AFC South. We have the Ravens and the Steelers in the toilet bowl for the AFC North. The Packers and the Bears are playing for first place. Cowboys and Lions is suddenly a huge game on Thursday night. Texans and Chiefs is a big game. It could ultimately end the Chiefs season, which we're going to get to in a second. It may already be done. And then the Eagles and Chargers close it out on Monday night. A couple of teams that we don't know if they're frauds or not. So let's get into it. I say all that because this week we're going to start off. We're going to go a little back, buy it or bullshit. We're going to bring it back a little bit. Done.
Ooh.
Buy it or BS. The Chiefs season is over.
No, it's total BS because any WWF, then WWE fans all know when The Undertaker hits the mat, if you don't hear one, two, three, you're going to hear that gong and he's going to sit up and then it's going to be over. And we're just waiting for that to happen. And I have it written there until we see the E next to their name
All
in the
right, eliminated.
standings. There is no way that I will say that they're done. And let's be honest, like that Texans Chiefs game, really quick, that Cowboys Lions game are playoff games for all
For
four of those
both,
teams.
yep, all four teams involved. I agree.
Yep.
I agree. B, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with Dutton. They're not done yet. There's still life there, and it's going to be an interesting game against the Texans because while the Texans have the best defense in the league, their offense is very suspect.
Yeah.
and we all know what the Chiefs can do, even to good defenses.
Yeah,
So
no, I know. I'm
it's going to
not
be a good
very happy.
game. It's going to be a good game for sure.
The next two I have in the buy it or BS kind of depends on the outcome of their game. The Ravens and the Steelers are tied, and they play each other this week. Which one of these two teams' season is over? Fee. Or is both over and the Bengals are going to come out from the dead and grab the division?
It could, I think, it totally could be that
Yeah.
actually. I think that the Ravens are going to win this game. They've been trending the right way, where like they've been getting slowly but surely a little bit better as the season has gone on, whereas the Steelers have not. They've been going the other way. They've been getting slowly but surely worse as the season goes on. There's dysfunction there. Aaron Rodgers is doing his thing.
Oh wait,
Um,
Aaron Rodgers and dysfunction? No way.
And he broke his face. Like what?
Wet bandit. He was a wet bandit.
Yeah, yeah.
he did break his face. I just think that the Ravens are probably going to win this game. Um, and I think it's going to end the Steelers' situation. Although it's not really over, right? I mean, like you said, the Bengals are 2 games back still at 4-8 and still have a chance to win the division. So
Yeah, it's crazy. Dutton, what do you think?
So you asked, is the season over? And my answer for both of them is Ravens May and Steelers B, because whoever wins this game, their season continues, and whoever loses this game, their season's over. And as much as I agree with what everything Fee said, something would not shock me if the Steelers steal this game. I mean, it's just
It's very possible.
ripe for the pickings, all the noise around Mike Tomlin, all the chaos. It's the perfect like middle finger to the fire Mike Tomlin chance is him going into Baltimore and winning this game. And
I can't believe that that everybody is calling for his head.
I think
the
it's
nemesis.
I
Everywhere
think
I've
it's
read,
just time.
fans,
I think no matter
Steelers
what
fans
happens.
have been like, we need to get rid of Tomlin. It's
Fee,
just
Fee, if you're a
It's
Giants fan, you have to be so excited that Pittsburgh wants to get rid of him because he would be the perfect coach for the New York Giants.
I know. It's if he wants to continue coaching, right? Like if he first of all, if he gets fired or if they part ways
I think
mutually,
they're just going to part ways.
whatever.
I think it's over. It has to be. I mean, he can't take much. First of all, they give this guy a verified lunatic every year, and he
At
handles it.
quarterback.
Everywhere, everywhere. He's had Antonio Brown. He's had Le'Veon Bell. He's had all these guys that have lost their mind. All these divas, like, and
Pickens.
then,
Pickens, yeah.
well, and then they trade for DK Metcalf. And when they get DK Metcalf for Aaron Rodgers, what do they go and do? They go and trade away the second best wide receiver in football right now. They do no favors for Tomlin, and Tomlin still finishes 9-8 and makes the playoffs every year. All right. At some point, all of the people that want him fired, at some point, he's going to be like, I can't do this anymore. I want to go, like you said, maybe I want to go be a commentator, or maybe I want to, I think
Maybe
it's
he just
time.
wants a new team.
Unless the Steelers win the Super Bowl, I think no matter what happens, Tomlin's gone. Whether it's him leaving or him being fired.
If he came to the New York Giants, he would be beloved in that city. Like the fan base would go crazy because it would be somebody to finally just stabilize the chaos, right? Like you wouldn't have to worry about your what's his face being late to meetings because it wouldn't happen.
Abdul Carter.
Yeah, Abdul Carter would be doing what he's supposed to be doing, and Jackson Dart would know how to slide and know how to run out of bounds because Mike Tomlin would rip him by the face mask and say, "You're going to slide."
He's only 53, so he's still relatively young.
Yeah, because he was the youngest, wasn't he at the time the youngest coach to win the Super Bowl until Sean McVay?
Yeah, until McVay.
Yeah. All right, so again, go ahead.
Steelers. Yeah, I just think the Steelers end up somehow maybe stealing this game and they steal the division and go 9-8 and make the playoffs and then.
I mean, 9-8 is going to win that division. To your point, like it's going to. You don't need 10 wins to win that division.
Nope.
So not so much buy it or BS, but let's switch it to with the next few teams here: contenders or pretenders. We'll start with the Colts. Dutton, contenders or pretenders?
Complete fraud.
Fee, you look like you agree.
I do agree. Yeah.
Is this because of your Daniel Jones love?
it's
or
a
lack thereof.
And his broken leg.
it's a lot of that, but also I just don't think they have what it takes to actually win the Super Bowl. Like
They went
to
all
really,
in for Sauce Gardner, and he had a
and now he's hurt.
non-contact injury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, he
like,
was hurt when they got him. He missed the first game. He played one game and then a quarter against the Texans, and that was it. Speaking of the Texans, are the Texans contenders or pretenders? Fee.
I I say they're a pretender because their offense just isn't there. I don't think they have what it takes. Their defense, yeah, they could carry them, but I don't think they're going to carry them to a Super Bowl.
Dutton.
I say contender, and I hear you, Fee, and I hand to you Trent Dilfer, and I hand to you Brad Johnson.
I still think the Texans make the
Not that.
AFC Championship game. I do.
I think they win the division. I think
They're going to win the division. Colts and Jaguars play each other twice. They're going to take each other out because they're both idiots.
Yep.
So let's move on to the Jaguars. Contenders or pretenders? Both of you not in your head? Are they pretenders?
They're pretenders. I mean, this game this weekend for first place is a complete fraud game.
Yeah, it's just lining up, getting it closer for the Texans to take it over. Okay, how about our favorite, my favorite, the Josh Allen-led Buffalo Bills, contenders or pretenders?
They're pretenders. They don't. They just they haven't looked right all year. They're up and down. Some games they're fantastic. Some games they're bad. You can't be doing that in the playoffs. And if they're not consistent, they're not going to win.
Okay, the Rams are the Super Bowl favorites right now. I was going to say, are the Bills still the
No.
odds-on favorite? So the Rams are still the favorite.
I say the Bills. Here's what I'm going to say. Right now, the Bills are pretenders. However, if they play, you said it, consistency. If they play the rest of their games like they played the second half against the Steelers, then they become contenders because that was a team that we've expected to see all year.
Yeah.
Their defense did what it needed to do. Josh Allen was smart with the ball. Josh Allen ran when he needed to. He threw the right balls to the right guys at the right time. Freaking Keon Coleman had a touchdown. What happened there?
Right. I didn't even know he was allowed to play.
So, I mean, right now, pretenders, but they could move into contenders if they want to play like they played second half on Sunday.
Eagles. Fee.
They're contenders for me. I know that they also have not been consistent and their offense has not looked right, but the difference is they can put it all together and they have the pieces to do it. So if they can figure it out, even because they're going to make the playoffs, they're going to win the division, that's not going to be an issue. That once they get there, if they just kind of put it all together, that all they need to do is win 3 more games. And they can do it. I feel like they have the talent there to be able to do that.
Dutton.
I say pretenders. There's too much drama. It's the only difference between now and 2023 is the division's not as competitive.
Yeah. Okay, then let's keep moving on, and we go to your neck of the woods over there, Mr. Dutton, the Carolina Panthers. Contenders or pretenders?
They're pretenders because they can't win 2 games in a row.
They can't, but they could beat the good teams.
Yeah, but they have to win more than 2 games in a row to go on in the playoffs.
It's true. Fee, is that what you agree?
Yeah, same.
Broncos. Either one of you could go.
It's like
the best team in football, statistically speaking, and not one of us think that they're a contender.
No way.
I mean, the only way that the Broncos win a first-round playoff game is if they play the Jaguars or the Colts.
Fair.
Every game that they've won, it's been by less than 3 points.
And look at who it is: the Jets, the Giants, the Commanders. They had to go to overtime.
They did beat the Eagles.
They beat the Eagles. Even the Texans, they beat on a last-second field goal, right? And that was with the Texans with Davis Mills and all that. So
that's not going to fly in the playoffs.
No, it never does. Those teams that win those unless you're the Chiefs, like that, they made a living out of it. Cowboys. What do we think, Dutton?
I can't believe I'm saying this. And Fee and I both had to convince people that we were rooting for the Eagles to lose, not the Cowboys to win 2 weeks ago. But I think they're contenders because their defense is coming around and their offense is top 5 in the league in so many categories. Like you don't want to go up against the Cowboys in a shootout because George Pickens is on another level right now. Forget
Yeah.
Des Bryant. Like George Pickens is the real deal down there.
Yeah. So trading Micah Parsons wasn't as crazy as it was because they made some other moves at the break. A fee.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And like you said, in that trade, they got back Kenny Clark, who's one of the better
Yeah.
interior defensive linemen and the first round pick, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So it's not like they got incredibly worse by trading him.
That trade worked out well for both teams. There was a lot of splash and noise around Micah at the beginning, right? But
Mhm.
as that trade has gone on, it's a marathon, not a sprint. It's worked out really well for both teams. I mean,
Yeah.
Micah's dominant in Green Bay, and Dallas's defense took a long time to get there, but they're getting better.
Yeah. Let's go to who the Eagles are playing Monday night. Their injuries just I don't remember. We talk about injuries all the time. I don't remember a single team getting. They've lost all of their running backs. Justin Herbert has hand surgery like 15
They
minutes
lost
after
both of their starting offensive tackles.
all of their offensive line is missed time. But yeah, they lost two, and one of them, Slater's like one of the best in the game. Are the Chargers contenders or pretenders after all this? Fee?
They're pretenders. There's way too many injuries. They're just not going to be able to, attrition, right? Like they're just not going to be able to get it done. If they were fully healthy, yeah,
Yeah,
sure, I would say yes. But like, and I know every team has all their guys are dinged up and all this, but they have like major injuries,
yeah,
and like their guys aren't coming back, and it's not, it's just it sucks for them because they probably would have had a good year this year. But I think they're just going to have to wait till next year.
yeah, yeah. Dutton.
It's the California curse to the 49ers of the last 2 years, right? I
Yeah,
mean, like
seriously,
it's
injuries galore.
injury like compounding on top of each other. Like it
Yeah,
wasn't just, one running back in San Diego or
right.
Los Angeles. It was three running backs.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
It's
so they're
crazy.
pretenders just because of their injuries. Like, yeah.
Last one before we move on. Chicago Bears. Fee.
Uh, I was torn on this one. Um, I kind of want to say contenders, but I'm not entirely sold on it either. I know they're the best team in the NFC right now. I know that they've won some really good games. Their offense is clicking, and their defense is pretty good. I don't know. Something about them makes me not really believe. But listen, they're,
Caleb Williams that
Is it
something?
the fact that they don't throw the ball more than 10 yards down the field?
I mean, it could be a lot of those things. Yeah, I don't know. I know that they're the best in the NFC right now, and they have the best record, and they'll make the playoffs. But I don't know, man.
Yeah,
Just I'm just not sold.
me neither. Dutton, you are.
Right now, I'm going to say contender. The next 3 weeks will tell us a lot. They have two games against the Packers in the
Yeah.
next 3 weeks. Like,
I
and
mean,
like,
look, the way the Lions are playing, the way the Cowboys are playing, if the Bears go lose both those games, and then I think they have the Lions as well remaining, they lose that. We're talking about the best team in the NFC, maybe not making the playoffs, right?
right, within the next 4 weeks, right?
So yeah, there's just too many things, and I'm just not. Look, Ben Johnson is probably coach of the year, like what he did with his team, but I'm still not a Caleb Williams is winning a
He
Super
wins this
Bowl.
game on Sunday. They win
I'll
this
I'll
game.
change my tune. I
Yeah,
will.
like I think a lot of people start talking a lot of noise about the Bears.
Yeah, yeah. We got to bring up injuries. Not only did we have a big injury, the epitome of what the 2025 season happened. The Lions center came out of retirement and was put on the IR before he even got back in uniform.
Before I even made it to the facility.
He didn't even get to
He
the facility.
failed his physical. Was it a hamstring? I think I saw.
Yeah.
Like,
Uh,
we have dudes that aren't even touching the field going out for the year,
I
people.
wonder. I wonder if he pulled his hamstring like walking to the facility. He's like, I
I
can't
don't
wait
know,
to
man.
get back into it. And he was like,
He's all pumped.
no.
I don't know. But speaking of the Lions, we lost one of the best wide receivers in football. It's brief, but this is a big game this week against the Cowboys, and there's not going to be any Amon-Ra St. Brown. What do we think that does for this matchup if it has to go to a shootout? Dutton, Fee, whoever wants to chime in here.
I think it hurts the Lions' chances in this game. We just talked about how the Cowboys defense has been coming along recently, and now you have no Amon-Ra St. Brown, plus their offensive line is all banged up. I feel like Laporta is gone, but he's been gone for a couple weeks now, but
Yeah.
he's not going to be there. I mean, I think that I don't even want to say keep it close, but they'll still air it out and try to make a game of it. But like I just don't think that they're gonna have the horses to actually win this one.
Yep. Dutton.
I think it opens up Tesla. And I also think it makes Jahmyr Gibbs more of a weapon out of the backfield catching the ball.
You gotta go double backfield. You gotta have
Right.
Montgomery and Gibbs on the
Yeah,
field.
you just got to go
all the
Sonic
time.
and Knuckles, and one's
Yeah.
going to become the running back, and one's going to become the catching back out of the backfield.
Yeah, I'm excited for Tesla. I think he has a couple weeks with this way their schedule has. But let's move on to locks of the week. How did we do last week? I forgot. What did we do? Oh, we picked my Dolphins, who lost they won, but they didn't cover by 1 point because the NFL is rigged. I'm on board because I lose all my bets. And when I win my bets, the NFL is not rigged. But Dutton did call the Cowboys over the Chiefs. Fee went with the Eagles over the Bears. 2 weeks in a row, I think you went with the Eagles, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
No, the week before that I had the Vegas.
Oh, okay.
Oh, right.
Dutton had the Eagles.
Oh,
I had
Dutton
the
had the
Eagles
Eagles.
the week
Okay,
before.
so on the season, Dutton is now 7 for 13. Fee is 6 for 13. I'm 8 for 13, and the 3-and-out collaboration pick is 8 for 13. We're gonna get to 9 for 14 on the year. I feel it this week. I like these picks. So Dutton, we'll start with you.
Okay, really quick. I wanted to pick the Jets. I really wanted to pick the Jets. I really, really, really wanted to pick the Jets, but I didn't pick the Jets, and I'm probably going to regret it. So I went with the Bears plus 6.5. I think the Packers win this game, but I think it's like a 4-point win, not a 6.5 point.
Fair. Fee.
I like that Jets pick. I think that the Jets will win that game actually outright. But I am taking the Rams minus 8.5.
Oh,
I
they're
know that's
boat racing the Cardinals.
I know it's a large spread. But I think that they're just gonna, like Dutton said, I think they're just gonna boat race the Cardinals and just completely destroy them.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a really hard week for me because my theory on divisional matchups. There's
It's
a lot.
nothing but.
And there's 3 games to choose from. So I'm going with the Cleveland Browns, giving 4.5 to the Tennessee Titans. The Browns defense is too good, and the Titans are too bad. And I think the Titans win this by a touchdown. I'm sorry, the Browns win this by a touchdown.
Browns.
I'm sorry,
Yep.
the Browns win this by a touchdown. It was really one of the only options I have because I'm not touching that Eagles Chargers game, not the way the Eagles are playing, and not with the injuries the Chargers have. Dallas and Detroit, I really don't want to touch that. And I think that was it. I think everything else was a conference game. I don't remember. There's the Commanders in Minnesota, which is arguably going to be the worst quarterback game in the history of the NFL.
Of quarterbacks. Yeah.
In the history of the NFL. Can we talk about that guy? Max Brosmer? Can we talk about the fact that we made fun of J.J. McCarthy for having 2 of the worst starts at quarterback in NFL history, and he was worse? His
Do you
QB
understand that
rating
within
was
1
2
year?
points worse than either of JJ McCarthy's historically
In 1
bad.
year, we haven't even finished the season, and the Vikings have had the 3 worst quarterback starts in the history of the NFL.
No, what didn't Jamarcus Russell have the worst, and they were like the next 3 worst? I think.
Okay.
I could be wrong. You might be right. But
Either
yeah,
way,
it's
been a
it's up
bad
there.
year. It's been a bad year for Vikings quarterbacks.
You know who it's not been a bad year for?
We have to pick. Who are we
What?
picking?
Oh, who are we picking?
Oh,
I like the Rams. I think they win this game by like 20.
Yeah.
I think they're fired up, angry.
Yeah. I could get down with the Rams. I know I don't like divisional games, but I could get down with the Rams.
Yeah.
I mean, Jonathan Gannon's as good as fired, right? Like that guy has mishandled a team. He is the J.J. McCarthy of head coaches. Like that's what I think of Jonathan Gannon. I'm good with the Rams. But we got off we got our buddy back this week. And so grab your helmet, put on your
Taco?
seat, put your seatbelt
We don't
on.
even know where he is.
We don't, he doesn't know where he is.
Where
Said
in the
when he
world
texts us.
is
I don't
Taco
know what's going on.
Diego?
But yeah, let's hit the road. And it's time for Taco on the road.
Yo, what is up, fellas? Sorry for the long absence. Life on the road gets demanding. And speaking of demanding, I know you're demanding some road teams with a chance. So let's get into it. Since it's snowing here in the Mile High City, the truck is parked. Let's get some flakes on our face and talk Broncos. Bo Nix and his crew head to Sin City to take on the ho-hum Raiders. I know Broncos games are normally close, but this one may not be. The Raiders are done. The Broncos are fighting for first, and I'm taking the Broncos. They roll this week. They roll and cover that 7.5. Game 2. The NFC leading Bears head to Cheesetown to take on Jordan Love and the Pack. I think the Bears are cooking on emotion, and if it's cold and windy or nasty at Lambeau, the Bears can run it all day. They ran for 281 against the Birds. And I bet you see Caleb Williams, Swift, and that other dude I've never even heard of pile up the yards. I got to take the Bears and the points on this one. Last but not least, my Birds head to SoFi Stadium to take on the Chargers. Should, would, could crush the Bolts on Monday night, but they do make me nervous. Feeling the Birds get back on track, even the running game gets cooking, maybe some tank. Eagles need this win, and they will cover that 3 points to show the NFL this isn't 2023 happening all over again. Gentlemen, always a pleasure. Glad to see you again. Until next time, keep your seats back, the smokestack's black, and keep on trucking. 10-4, over and out, good buddies.
Yeah, well, thanks, Doc. Enjoy your trip this time. Hopefully, we see you next time. We just never know. Maybe we will. Maybe we
We don't
won't.
know where to find him anymore.
He doesn't know where to find him. Anyway, we're moving on to the next portion of the show. Fanduel Fee. Oh, I have a bone to pick.
Oh,
I used 2 Fanduel Fee lineups last week.
uh-oh.
I do 20 team tournaments, so the top 3 pay. I did 5 tournaments. I finished in 4th place in 4 of them by a matter of points.
Oh man.
So while I will hype up the fact that I took Fanduel Fee's lineup, I will also say I cannot believe I went against my better judgment and put Taysom Hill in a lineup, because that is what cost me all 4 of those games. I don't know why you thought Taysom Hill was ever going to be good. He was downright miserable. I think he got 3 points.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was bad. So that's I had a bone to pick, but you'll get it right this week.
Yeah. All right. So that was a extremely poor pick by me last week. It screwed me as well. However, I somehow am still in 2nd place in my FanDuel league, which is absolutely crazy because it wasn't such a great week for me last week. But I feel like it wasn't such a great week for a lot of people.
Yeah. Right.
And while I'm in 2nd place, it's only by a half a point to the 3rd place guy. But I'm only 26 points out of 1st, so I'm right there, there.
Nice.
Like, 5-6 weeks left, 5 weeks, 6 weeks left. So it's gonna be a good one. So this week's a tough one. We do have the buys. There are, I think, 10 games on the slate, and there's only 3 4 o'clock games. But my stacks this week, I'm going with Matthew Stafford and the Rams. He's at 8K, and my stacking partner with him is Colby Parkinson at 5K in the tight end slot. I think this might be a 2 tight end week where you put a tight end in your flex spot too. I'm not opposed to stacking him with either Devontae Adams or Puka. I think they'll all end up going off at some point, but those guys are extremely expensive. Colby Parkinson is only 5K. He's had 3 touchdowns in his last 4 games, and he averages 4.5 to 5 catches a game, for somewhere between 40 and 60 yards and a touchdown. At 5K, that's excellent value. My second stack is the other side of that game. Jacoby Brissett, only 7,200. The guy has thrown over 300 yards in the last 4 games. I know Marvin Harrison is back, but I still like Michael Wilson this week. He is extremely cheap at only 5,700. If the Rams are going to be scoring all over them, the Cardinals are going to have to throw the ball like they've been doing 50 times, pretty much every week. And Brissett, it throws over 300 yards and a couple of touchdowns, and he always, you know, makes his points, right? I think Michael Wilson continues on with what he's been doing, but he's super cheap at 5,700. Here are some other guys I like this week. RJ Harvey against the Raiders. He's only 6,500, so it's actually a pretty good salary for him. He's got no competition in the backfield in Denver. James Cook against Cincinnati. Cincinnati is the worst defense against the run. He is 9,300, so it's gonna some gymnastics to try to fit him in, but it's worth it because the Bills want to run the ball. They don't want to pass it. They want to run the ball. Cincinnati is the worst against the run in the league. Jacoby Myers this week against the Colts. Last week he was fantastic. I know that they've had some injuries there, so he's 6,100. It's a good salary for him if he can duplicate what he did last week. Jalen Waddle against the Jets is 6,700. I think that he should probably have a pretty good game. And Quinshon Judkins at 7,900 against the Titans. I think they are the second worst team against the run in the league. And the Browns obviously want to run the ball just as much as the Bills do. And those are my stacks of the week.
I like it. I'm going to give a shout out to Jacoby Brissett because he's got to be a lifesaver. He saved both of my leagues. I picked him up in both my leagues and he won huge games for me. I'm sure I'm not the only one, right? Like he's got to be one of the fantasy MVPs this year when we talk about. He's not going to win fantasy MVP, but he's going to be in the conversation when we talk about it. He's going to get an honorable mention because I promise you he saved a ton of seasons. The funny thing is that Jonathan Gannon couldn't figure out how to win a single ball game that he started. Like the guy is throwing 300 yards and 2 touchdowns every week, and they can't win a ball game. It's a sad time to be a Cardinals fan. I don't even know a Cardinals fan. Anyway, let's move on to the final portion of the show. Starts and sits. Dutton wants to know why the hell there are still buys this week, but there are. And the good news is that they're meaningful buys, and they're taking a lot of people away that we need to win fantasy football games. We have no Patriots, so Drake May is out. Both running backs are out. Hunter Henry is out, and they do have a wide receiver to play that you can use every now and then. The Giants are in a bye. Wan'Dale Robinson, speaking of fantasy MVPs, Tracy and Singletary were getting points. I know Tracy got hurt last week, but Singletary stepped in and got points. Theo Johnson's been getting points, and Jackson Dart's been getting points. The Panthers, there's plenty on the Panthers. Rico Dowdle, Chuba Hubbard, Ted McMillan. And the 49ers, Brock Purdy, George Kittle, the receiver. Like,
CMC.
It's not just that there's bye. I remember last year, week 14, Jonathan Taylor was on a bye. The Colts were on a bye. Like,
I had
Roger Goodell does nothing but try to make the NFL worse than it could possibly be by taking away. This is the week to put the Jets on a bye. This is the week to put, you know what I'm saying?
Or even better, nobody's on a bye. Bye should be over by week 10. First of all, it's not a competitive advantage to have a bye in week 14.
No.
That means your team has played 13 games.
Yeah.
The Bucks had their bye after week 4.
It makes no sense. It makes no sense. And the Lions are playing on Thursday night. After last week, we said they played 3 games in 11 days. That's 4 games in 18 days. If they would have played the Sunday or the Monday night game, they would have finally been back on rest. But no, you're just Goodell. God Dell. Let's just get to it. Last week, last week we did all right, right? Last week we got 6 out of the 8 right. We took all of my sits and we were perfect on the sits. They all hit, thank God, or else I would have looked terrible. Um, and then what was the one? Oh, and Fee said to sit all the Bears wide receivers against the Eagles. And the best of the Bears wide receivers was the 41st best wide receiver in fantasy football. So you nailed that one. So let's move. Let's just get it going. Obviously, we have to dig a little deep this week with the buys and the injuries. So Dutton, who are we getting started with at quarterback?
He's back. Joe Burrow in a shootout versus the Bills. They don't win the game, I think, but Joe Burrow is going to win fantasy for you.
Yeah, Fee.
I am going with Tyrod Taylor again this week against Miami. He's been averaging 18.5 points a week since he's been starting. And last week he had 21.7 points. So if you are in need of a spot starter, Tyrod Taylor could be your guy.
Yeah, yeah. I'm going with Jared Goff against the Cowboys. The Cowboys have been winning these big games, but last week Mahomes was the number 1 scoring fantasy quarterback, and the week before Jalen Hurts was the number 2 fantasy scoring quarterback. So the quarterbacks are still getting theirs. I know we
Jared Goff.
talked about the injuries on the Lions, but I still think Goff has himself a day.
It's Goff.
It's
It's
Goff.
Goff.
Okay, running backs. Fee, you get started.
Yeah, I talked about him earlier. It's I got RJ Harvey against the Raiders.
Done.
You talked about him, Fee, in your FanDuel. It's Judkins against the Titans.
And I'm going to go with Chase Brown against the Bills because we always say you start any running back against the Bills. I know they tightened up, but Jalen Warren got in the end zone. No, Kenneth Gainwell didn't. I was going to say they both did, but no. But Jalen Warren did get in the end zone, and I believe he was our start of the week and hit the jackpot for us. So I kind of like Harvey here, but the thing that scares me about Harvey is he's 100% touchdown dependent. He's like a 3 yard per carry guy.
He had 30 yards and 2 touchdowns because you played him against me. Like that's how he got his points was touchdowns.
Yeah,
right?
But he also, if he gets involved in the receiving game, if Bo Nix takes his head out of his ass, he's a much better receiver than a
It's a
runner.
big if you just put there.
It is a huge if.
I like Judkins against the Titans.
Okay. Wide receiver. I'm going to start. No, this has nothing to do with the fact that he started his career in D2 at Hillsdale, but I am taking Isaac Tesla because I think look, the guy's a touchdown machine. I don't know that he's going to have a huge game. Maybe 4 receptions, 40 yards, and a touchdown.
Say 4 catches for like 50 yards and a touchdown.
And that's enough. That's what you need. So that's my pick of the week. Dutton.
You hate him, but I think this week he has enough for fantasy wise, and it's Cortland Sutton against the Raiders.
Fee.
Yeah, I put 2 guys here, but I'm going to roll with Jamison Williams against the Cowboys. We've been talking about Goff having a good game. He's going to have to throw it to somebody. I really love Isaac Tesla as well. I think he'll have a solid game too. So I agree with you there. I think Jamison Williams continues on with what he's been doing with no Amon-Ra St. Brown.
So who do we want to lock in? Or do we just say Lions receivers?
Yeah, let's just do that because I would take either one of them.
I like it.
Started both tight ends. Dutton.
Fee, it's funny that you talked about Kobe Parkinson because I literally was picking him up while you were doing FanDuel Fee because my other tight end is hurt and I have George Kittle on a bye.
Of course.
But I'm starting Dalton Schultz versus the Chiefs because I think that's the only way that the Texans are going to move the ball down the field.
Fee.
I'm starting Darren Waller against the New York Jets. I think that he is healthy, and I think that he is going to put up the numbers that he was putting up before he got hurt.
I'm going to go with TJ Hawkinson because he had his best week of the season because that's as far as Max Brosmer can throw. And then, I mean, I can't talk about the Vikings. Like, I don't understand. The Commanders stink. So I think Hawkinson has it.
I think it's Darren Waller. Really quick, I saw a thing the other day that said, if you can throw a spiral, be at Viking Stadium for tryouts on
Seriously. Seriously. Can we talk about the coup kick? Young Wei Koo.
God
I
damn
know
it.
that has nothing to do with starts and
Oh
sits,
my
but
God.
where is that in regards to butt fumble? I mean, that is right
It's
up there,
here's
right?
why I'm going to tell you it's
Guy
up
is an
there. It
idiot.
was
He's
on
such an idiot.
ABC World News last night. David
Oh,
Muir ended the show with that kick.
Uh, it's
oh my
Charlie
God.
Brown in real life.
Oh yeah, totally Charlie Brown. What an idiot.
Oh my God.
He
All right.
totally misjudged the steps and kicked
He's
it.
like 1, 2, 15. Blah. All right. I'm reviewing the 3-and-out starts of the week. Goff at quarterback, Judkins at running back, both Lions receivers, Jameson Williams and Isaac Tesla at wide receiver, and Darren Waller against the Jets at tight end. Let's move on to sits. We've been perfect on sits, I think, for like 4 weeks in a row now. So let's keep it rolling. Dutton.
He's questionable. He's banged up. It's going to be gross. It's going to be cold. The Steelers' defense, as much as we want to bang on them, is still violent and hits hard. And Lamar's banged. We've talked about it.
He's
He's
not
not the
good.
same. He's not good, and I'm sitting him against the Steelers.
We shouldn't say he's not good. We should say he's not right.
Right. He's not good. When I say he's not good health wise.
Yes,
Something is
right.
wrong with him. He's
Right.
a good quarterback when he is healthy, and right now he is not healthy.
No question. Fee.
I'm sitting CJ Stroud against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to sit Patrick Mahomes against the Texans on the other side. I wrote this down in the notes. The Texans the last 4 weeks, Daniel on the 4-game winning streak, Daniel Jones was the 17th best fantasy quarterback. Josh Allen was the 22nd. Cam Ward was the 18th, which is actually pretty high for him. That's more of an insult to the Texans. And then Trevor Lawrence was the 21st. So quarterbacks are not doing well, and Josh Allen was one of them, and he was the 22nd best quarterback. So I'm saying to sit Patrick Mahomes. I
It's
think
not
all
a
three of
bad.
these are bold sits because I think people have to start them. I'd go with Lamar here.
I'm okay with Lamar.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he's just we every time we watch him play, we text about it. There's
I
something
know.
wrong with
He
him.
just
There's
doesn't
some-
look right. I mean,
Mhm.
we all thought Mark Andrews was going to have a monster week, and they didn't even look at him.
Mm-mm.
Running back, Fee, sits.
I'm sitting Kenneth Walker the third against the Falcons. The Falcons' run defense has been fantastic this year.
Dutton.
I'm sitting Bijan Robinson against the Seahawks defense.
I was going to do that, but I'm like, they just have nobody else.
I'm just going ballsy this week.
I am going with Kyle Mogwai. Did you guys see? I don't know if it was AI, but I believe Gremlins 3 is coming out next year, and the Mogwai made me think of it. But I'm benching Kyle Monangai. I can't even say it now because
Manan guy.
Monangai against the Packers. I think it's going to be tough to run against them, and DeAndre Swift is clearly the better receiver of the two, so I think he's just going to be on the field more. I know they both got theirs last week, but the Packers are a completely different defense. So that's my pick.
It's going to be 14 degrees at kickoff for that game.
That's going to make it worse. Who do we want to sit?
I think it makes it better for the running game.
Yeah, it's just going to be hard. It's going to be one of those games. Who are we sitting? I don't know.
I don't think we can sit Bijan.
That's tough. Yeah, let's. I'm good with KW Tree.
Okay.
Wide receiver, you guys got to start because I accidentally hit a letter and deleted who I picked, so I got to look who I picked. You you go.
I am sitting Devontae Smith against the Chargers only because AJ Brown's going to run his mouth at some point between now and Monday, so the ball will get thrown to him a lot more.
Fee.
I am sitting DK Metcalf against the Ravens. There's just so much going on.
I know who it was.
Okay. And I think the Ravens' pass defense has gotten much, much better since the beginning of the year.
I'm going to tell you, I'm gonna pull the Fee trick out of the bag. I'm going to tell you to sit all the Chargers wide receivers against the Eagles. Again, the Eagles shut down the Bears, and Justin Herbert's banged up. I thought I read that like Trey Lance is taking like inside the 10 snaps for like different kinds of plays, which means there's going to be a lot of running.
Which means there's going to be like 5 fumbles inside the 10.
Well, Amari and Hampton is hopefully back this week too. So you got Vidal and Hampton,
Right.
and then you got Trey Lance running some option plays to give Justin Herbert's surgery hand a break. Just doesn't seem like a good week for the Chargers. So who do we want to lock in?
I like the DK sit.
Sit him. Tight end. I'll start because I was supposed to start wide receiver and I couldn't remember who I put. I'm going to tell you to sit Evan Ingram. He finally had a good week. And I think, Fee, you said it a few weeks ago. The Raiders are good against the tight end this year. They're tied for the least amount of touchdowns to the tight end. So Evan Ingram has not had good two weeks in a row this year. I just think people are going to start him because he had a big week last week, and I think he's a dud. Dutton. Fee.
Nope. I'm sitting Arande Gadsden against the Eagles.
I almost sat him too.
The Eagles are really good against the tight end, and if Herbert is banged up with that broken hand, I don't know, man. I don't like it.
We saw Rodgers with a broken hand, and I'm not saying Herbert and Rodgers are the same quarterback, but it's not good. Dutton, bring it home.
Well, you know who it is. They're playing the Seahawks. It's a tough defense. It's Kyle Pitts. Let's be honest, people.
He actually killed us last week.
He did,
but he wasn't our overall 3-and-out sit. But Kyle Pitts was a number 5 fantasy tight end last week.
I do like the Gadsden sit because I was going to sit him too, Fee.
We could do that. I'm anti-Chargers this week.
I like Evan Ingram sit, but I'll go with the Gadsden one.
All right, let's throw in Gadsden. So reviewing your sits of the week. Lamar Jackson at quarterback, KW3, Kenneth Walker III at running back, DK Metcalf at wide receiver, and Aranda Gadsden at Philly. I would sit pretty much everyone in our sits because we've been crushing it. Gentlemen, anything else before we need to hit the road and let these people go win their fantasy football leagues?
Yeah, good luck if you're in the playoffs, and good luck if you're trying to make the playoffs.
Yeah. Dutton, anything?
Shout out to the Millbrook Wildcats, who are playing for the North Carolina State Football Championship next Thursday night under the lights at Kenan Stadium at University of North Carolina.
Go Wildcats.
So my daughter will be cheering on the sideline. She's very excited. Go Wildcats.
WILD Cats.
Very good fantasy defense. If you want a good fantasy defense, Millbrook Wildcats high school football.
Nice. Well, normally this is our final, the season finale episode, but we're going to come back next week and do a playoff preview, a fantasy football playoff preview, and that will wrap up our season. So hopefully you guys make the playoffs. Hopefully we led you in the right direction, and we'll see you next week on 3 and Out.